In this episode of The Outdoor Woman, we will be seeing about the strategy to be followed after the lockdown period ends in India. Life in India has been brought to a grinding halt as the country is now in the fifth week of extreme social distancing. The government will have to take a call on easing further restrictions when the second phase of nationwide lockdown ends on 3rd May. In working out an exit strategy from the current nationwide lockdown, the government should aim toward bringing a fine balance between economic and social activity and yet containing COVID-19 from spreading and getting out of control. A country like India cannot afford to have a prolonged lockdown that lasts for months. By now, we know everything about the coronavirus. We know that corona can affect anybody and 80% are asymptomatic and they can spread it to others. Everyone affected by the virus does not die and it depends on age, pre-existing illness, immunity level, gender, etc. So, till a cure or a vaccine is found, a strategy should be adopted and followed by everyone so that people are not left financially stranded. We have heard so many stories about how companies are not able to pay salaries to their employees as there is no business happening at all for more than a month now. So, let's see what solutions can be followed to straighten our country's and our family's economy. Young population up to 20 years is not affected even when exposed to this virus. Only a handful of them develop illness and still fewer die. So, this group should be allowed to go to college or school or allowed to resume their duty. People between 20 and 60 years of age, even when they get exposed to the virus, recover from it with a slightly higher mortality rate than the population of less than 20 years. So, they should be allowed to engage in their profession also. People above the age of 60 or 65 years must be completely asked to stay at home or quarantined till we say goodbye to this virus. Women are less infected by this virus and fatality rate is very less. It is only 25% of the dead. Therefore, they should be allowed to resume work. If these are followed, at least one member of the family will be working and they can take care of the family. Else, business will get ruined soon and it will be very difficult to get things straight after that. If businesses are closed, even the government will find it difficult to raise finances, pay salary, meet essential needs, provide a stable society for the people to rely on. Plus, people cannot rely only on the free food and money given by government. With the population in our country, the government cannot take up the burden of feeding everyone every day. No country can have that much food grains and other essentials in reserve. The virus has affected every country in the world. Even the rich countries are severely affected. So, even if we allow the industries to start the production, there is no customers or clients to supply their production. Important cities like Mumbai and Delhi, which are the business capitals of India, are still in a severe grip of COVID. So, even if manufacturing states like Tamil Nadu and Gujarat start to run their businesses, they will have to depend on other state governments to relax their policies so that our industries could benefit from that. There is nothing that we could do in such cases. Many white-collar workers will lose their jobs or salary or both if businesses are closed for many days. Industries in India has been supportive of government's move of a nationwide lockdown to slow down the spread of COVID-19. The reopening of the country is something which everyone is waiting to hear. The biggest challenge for companies will be managing the supply chain as many vendors may still be in lockdown zones. Easing of restrictions will need to be supplemented by an economic stimulus to ensure that industrial units are able to get back on their feet immediately and consumer demand is also revived in the country. Many countries like Australia and New Zealand, which have successfully flattened the curve, are working on graded return to normalcy, even as WHO advised many countries to think carefully before lifting restrictions. Government has come up with many plans to help the poor and needy at such times. It is very much appreciable, but at the same time, people in other economic status should also be kept in mind so that they might get some relief too. Though the government has asked house owners not to ask for rent and banks not to ask for EMIs, those are not being followed by everyone everywhere. Politicians should take this seriously and come up with plans that will benefit people from all economic status in these difficult times. Businesses that resume work must cooperate by maintaining social distancing at workplace and wearing protective masks. Those who are not feeling well should not be allowed to work until COVID test comes negative. Last major calamity faced by Indians were during famine in 1940s, especially in Bengal, Madras, etc. Even during the World Wars, India was not affected much, but Europe suffered a lot during the World Wars. So, this is an unusual situation for India. Density of population is very high in cities, and these cities provide income to the people in urban and rural areas. People living in rural and dense quarters in urban areas are a huge vote bank for the politicians. People in these areas could be fed by the government to some extent, but social distancing could not be strictly enforced here. So, these places should be monitored carefully to avoid community spreading within the settlements. Doctors and healthcare workers should be taken good care of. Likewise, government servants should also be taken very good care, and they should also be helped with information about sick people so that their work to identify and isolate corona positive people will be more easy for them. All these people need to be paid their monthly salaries without any tax collections. Now let's see the scientific view of the pandemic and the situation it has caused us. We all know all basic details about the virus, that it could survive in any climate and spread very fast. Plasma therapy or chloroquine options are being tried to treat people or reduce fatality. Alternate medicines are also being tried to boost immune response to the disease, but still no clear-cut solution on that front yet. Wearing mask, personal hygiene, cleaning surfaces, keeping social distance, etc. are some of the suggestions to control and contain the spread of this disease, and vaccine is at least 6 months to 1 year away. Veteran infectious diseases experts feel it is time to end the lockdown, and a long-term shutdown is like burning the house to kill a rat. They also say that we should keep the elderly out of the picture for the time being, as the disease hurts them the most. So, we quarantine the old for 2 to 3 months and allow the youngsters to get to work. In the unfortunate event of many falling ill, there will be adequate space in hospitals to treat them. So, mortality can be further reduced, and then we would reach the point of saturation or herd immunity. Herd immunity is a strategy where you let natural immunization take place by a large population contracting the disease, thereby halting the spread of the infection. The controversial concept was initially promoted by UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson before the country reversed its stance on the issue. Recent random antibody testing in New York reveals that 20% of the city's population may have contracted COVID-19 and recovered on its own. According to few experts, herd immunity may already be developing in India, as reports of people with subclinical and mildly clinical symptoms are coming in. Along with epidemic, the natural immunization process is also going on. However, experts from official health establishments advocate phased relief with strict containment measures guided by surveillance mechanisms. They warn that achieving herd immunity is a costly proposition and that it will result in a surge of positive cases which will overwhelm the healthcare system. They say that herd immunity may be a good concept for infections with low morbidity and fatality rates, but in case of COVID-19, trying to achieve herd immunity will lead to a surge in cases which will overwhelm health systems. It is better to achieve herd immunity by using a vaccine and in the meanwhile prevent getting infected with physical distancing, hand hygiene, cough etiquette and universal mask use. I have given a collected data about the pandemic in three parts: business point of view, government or politicians point of view and from scientists and healthcare professionals point of view. Please do think and let us know what do you think about these strategies. Do you think these strategies will work or do you think that some other strategy should be followed? Please do let us know in the comments. This is Nisha P.S.